Hey, this is Vinay, and welcome to a brand new episode. This is our LinkedIn Live series, and it's called 10X Your Coaching Consulting Business Growth. That's the name of the series. It's all about every episode being focused on coaches, consultants, and service based professionals and giving them actionable strategies to grow their businesses rapidly using data driven methods, business intelligence, and emotional intelligence. If any of those things resonate with you, I think you'll find that you'll find some practical tips in these episodes. All right. Today's episode, we might be on episode 9 or 10 at this point. Uh, episode is titled today, Achieve a 50% Higher Conversion Rate. It's about how to master prospecting and market saturation to convert more leads into paying clients on autopilot. The whole idea is to make sure that you can get more of your clients, the ones that you want to talk to, the ones that you want to be able to work with as a coach, consultant, or a service professional, so that they will show up for you and you can bring them on board almost on autopilot. I'll show you how we're going to do that throughout the course of this episode. I will tell you, this is an interactive show. This is not something where I want to be doing all the talking. I would love to hear from you. So please go to the comments. I believe it's on your right hand side. Go and tell me, type in the name of the country or the city that you're connecting in from, just so I'll know where it is. All right. Thanks. Type that into the comments now. Tell me where you're connecting in from, city or country. Thank you. Well, let me start out by introducing myself. My name is Vinay Raman. I am the founder of Carmo. Let me tell you a little bit about my sort of resume stuff. I have a background in math and computer science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. I've also run or been part of the first founders or leadership team of 6 companies, including 2 that have successfully exited and have been sold. At Carmo, the current company that I'm working on, we specialize in helping coaches, consultants, and service based professionals grow their businesses by integrating business intelligence. People talk about a lot of the data and emotional intelligence, which is about the emotions of people. And we bring those together in a nice, neat fashion where you can make really highly insightful decisions that people are also highly invested in. But as part of that, we've got a proven process to draw those people forward so that you can integrate that business and emotional intelligence together. And we call that proven process of drawing those people forward the content flywheel. It automates lead generation, content creation, and client engagement, allowing you to build your business at scale and with ease on autopilot. All right. So hopefully that gives you a sense of who I am. And I will tell you in the last 25 plus years that I've been a coach or consultant, been made a lot of mistakes along the way. So this is how we figured out how to do things and our sharing with you how potentially you can do it and kind of shortcut to the end. So I want to stop periodically just to kind of check in with everyone, see how you're doing, what's happening, what you're thinking. So I'd love to hear from you. Here's the question I'd like to pose. What's your biggest challenge in converting leads into paying clients? Drop your thoughts into the comments. I think it's on the right hand side. Now, I will ask uh, have one more request of you, and that is if you're watching this after the live event, type in pound replay and then your comment so that I'll know that you actually joined us after the live event. You're more than welcome to join. You're more than welcome to ask as many questions, share your thoughts and comments as much as you'd like. But type in pound replay if you're joining after the live session. All right. Let's start getting started. You know, I will tell you lots of times when I have conversations with people, if I don't set proper expectation or context of what I'm doing, most times there's not alignment in what is being achieved. So I want to start first with talking about 3 core challenges that I understand and have always seen as a coach or consultant myself. So I would love to hear from you in the comments as you hear these 3. I'm going to tell you what those 3 are, and then I'm going to give you a little more detail so that we're all on the same page here. So type into the comments for me which one of these or all, if how many of these resonate for you. Number one is lead generation, consistent lead generation. Number two is market differentiation. And number three is client acquisition. Let's talk about those. Lead generation. It's the idea that many struggle with consistently generating leads online, being able to get people to come in your direction. And that lead generation means that you've got to go out to networking events, you've got to go constantly shake hands, kiss frogs in order to try to find what you need as a client. It's a lot of hit and miss. Number two is differentiation. Again, I'd love to hear in the comments if any of these resonate with you as something that's a big challenge for you in converting leads into paying clients. Differentiation. Standing out in a saturated market can be tough because there's so many people talking about the same thing. Today, we're talking about achieving that 50% higher conversion rate on potential clients. Well, if you're saying the same thing as everyone else, it makes it even tougher to do that. And one of the things we'll focus on today is how you can start to differentiate yourself. But standing out in that crowded market is really difficult, and it's crucial to make your conversations and have those people step forward that need your expertise. We'll, I'll share some tips throughout the course of this and some strategies on how you can cut through that noise yourself. Number three, client acquisition. Converting leads into paying clients is a common pain point, but with the right approach, it can be automated. People can start stepping forward by themselves and raising their hand saying, "Hey, Vinay, I'd like some of your time." I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you're joining after the live event, type in pound replay in the just before your comment. Is lead generation, differentiation in the market differentiation, or client acquisition something that bother you? Lead generation, differentiation, or client acquisition? What bother you or keep you up at night or are significant challenges for you? All right, let's get into what you'll get in this episode. We're going to talk about how to increase your conversion rate by 50% through effective prospecting and market saturation techniques. And if you stay to the end, I'm actually even going to give you a tool that'll actually do a lot of this for you. We built it for ourselves internally because we didn't want to be in a saturated market, yelling out the same topic as everyone else. We wanted to be able to yell something out or say something that resonates with our target audience, our profile customer. Okay. Let's talk about what the impact of this is, kind of setting the stage. More revenue and growth through higher conversion rates. That's what you'll get out of being able to take some of these actions. Number two, automated prospecting processes that save a lot of time and effort. What if people just kind of started stepping forward by themselves? So instead of spending hours every week going and shaking hands and trying to do networking and building relationships with people, what if they step forward to you when they wanted your help? That is a much easier conversation to have. And number three, automated lead nurturing can increase your conversion rates by, excuse me, the third impact here is greater business sustainability by converting those leads. If the people are coming in your direction, you will be able to be more sustainable as a business because you constantly rely on those leads walking in the door and converting them into customers. So you spend less time worried about, is my business going to be healthy tomorrow, and more time about, am I delivering great value to my clients? Okay. Now, I want to talk about myself. I've had lots of challenges, made lots of mistakes along the way, and I've learned from those mistakes. That's one thing I've always promised is that I will get knocked down, but I will get back up and start running again, and I do it again and again. And this episode is a compilation of a lot of those learns over time. But what made it really, really useful for me in trying to convert clients at a higher rate was some statistics. It helped me realize that I'm not the only person who's having this same challenge. So I'd love to see in the comments if any of these resonate with you. So here's statistic number one. Tell me if this resonates with you in the comments. Businesses that use effective prospecting techniques see a 33% increase in lead conversions. That's from Harvard Business Review. Let me say that again. Businesses that use effective prospecting techniques see a 33% increase in lead conversions. Is lead conversion a challenge for you? I'd like to see that in the comments. Go to the comment box and tell me, is that a problem that you found? Number two, Companies that master market saturation grow 40% faster than their competitors. This is from a marketing firm. It says that companies that master marketing saturation for 40, grow 40% faster than their competitors. That means if they can make their voice relevant and louder, maybe louder is not the right word, more relevant than others, than their competitors, they get heard more often. And as a result, people will see them and they grow 40% faster. So companies that master market saturation grow 40% faster than their competitors. Okay. And number three, automating lead nurturing can increase conversion rates by as much as 20%. Let me repeat that. Automating lead nurturing can increase conversion rates by as much as 20%. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that you can get a 33% increase in lead conversions if you use effective prospecting. You get grow 40% faster than your competitors, and you can increase conversion rates by as much as 20% if the right people are coming through an automated process. If you push all those things together, those statistics together, you've got the foundation or the space for a streamlined autopilot process that's going to bring leads to you in your business. That can lead to a 30, 50% or higher conversion rate if you do it right. Now, I want to I'll give you a little bit of a disclaimer here. Every business is not the same. Every context is not the same. The clarity and maturity of their message is different. So, who you going to talk to? How are you going to talk to them? The sales cycle, all of those things may change. So, while I'm going to give you some of these numbers and these stats, they may not be exactly what you're going to find, but I think you will find that there's a difference between a 5% increase in client conversions rate and a 50% increase. They're an order of magnitude difference. Look for that order of magnitude shift in your business if you start to implement some of these methods uh, in your organization. Okay, so let's come back and restate the problem because I want to kind of give you the solution right on its heels. Coaches and consultants often struggle with low conversion rates. It not only hampers revenue growth, but also creates a bottleneck in scaling their business. If you're constantly paying attention over here to is my business growing? Is my business growing? You can't continue focusing on growing your business because you're worried about if the foundation is going to fall out from underneath you. So the lack of an effective prospecting process means leads are left cold, unengaged, and not converted. If you focus on business development once every 2 weeks, once every week, or maybe it's not exactly the same interval every time. There are people who are sitting there just kind of swimming around in their little pond, waiting to join you in your ocean, but they can't join because they don't know the next step you do. So if you have an automated prospecting process that draws them along, the opportunity for them to convert to join you in your bigger pond, your bigger ocean becomes much easier because it's automated. It doesn't wait on you and it works while you're asleep or focused on something else. So, the solution to address this, you need to create a structured prospecting strategy that taps into both new and existing audiences. So, I would like to hear from anybody who is listening in. Number one, do you have a structured prospecting strategy today in place for your organization? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear. And if you're joining in the replay, type in pound replay before your comment. Number two, part of the second part of the solution, leverage market saturation techniques to ensure you're the top choice in your niche. What does that mean? Find a way, and we're going to share some of those steps with you here. Find a method, a technique, a methodology, a process that's going to help you stand and differentiate yourself from the crowd. I heard a fantastic statistic the other day, and I wonder if it really even matters if the number is right. And it says that there's 4 million LinkedIn leadership coaches. 4 million LinkedIn leadership coaches. How are you going to stand out against those 4 million? What are you saying that's different? It's not about the quality of the words that you're using, it's about the focus and who you're appealing to. So if you leverage these market saturation techniques, you'll ensure that you're a top choice in your niche. Solution number three, automate follow ups and nurture leads to guide them smoothly through the sales funnel. They don't know how to do next, or else they would have done it by themselves. So if you can automate that process, then moving forward, we've got templates, email templates that we've created. We've got sequences, processes, check marks, milestones that we've created in our process. So we know they've done this, send this. They've done this, send this. As we automate that process, the whole process becomes easier. The experience becomes easier and more streamlined for those folks who could become potential clients. I'd love to hear in the comments what you're thinking about that. Okay. Next, audience segmentation. Segmenting your audience is key to reaching the right prospects. By understanding their needs, you can tailor your messaging and improve conversion rates. The content flywheel that we have internally, our proven process, makes this easier by automating the segmentation process. I'm going to give you a tool at the end that you can use that'll save you a tremendous amount of time. It does for us. Instead of taking weeks, it can take one day. What does this mean, audience segmentation? Let's come up with an example here. If I'm trying to sell hair, and I'm picking an example that is in a completely different industry than what business coaches or consultants might do, or maybe they might touch it. I'm trying to sell hair care products. If I'm trying to sell hair care products to women that are between 45 and 55 years old and that have got brunette hair or dark brown hair and are not very athletic, and I go to a gym to sell my products, do you think I'll find the people that I need? Do you think I'll find the women that I need? If I go to a college, will I find the people that I need? It tells you can see that there's a disconnect between who I want to talk to and where I'm going to see them. Now, if I also go and say, I'd like to sell you a product, it's about women's hair. Yeah, everybody's going to say, well, a lot of women are going to say, I'm a woman, I've got hair. Doesn't tell them enough. But if I told them, if I went to a place, a hair salon, where there's women that are between the age of 45 and 55, they've got dark brown or brunette hair, they are looking to change the shape and style of their hair or improve their looks, whatever the case may be. But if I create a very targeted demographic there, that I go and talk to them specifically, some of them are going to say, gosh, I would really like that because my hair is starting to gray and I would love that dark brunette hair. And you say, I've got 10 different shades of just dark brunette. You say, my gosh, that's amazing. That's exactly what I need. The hairs, I call it the hair on the back of your neck moment. You say, that's exactly what I need. How do I get some of that? Audience segmentation. It makes the hair on the back of someone's neck stand up because it resonates so deeply with them. All right, content creation. Targeted content drives conversions. When you understand your audience's pain points, you can create content that resonates. The content flywheel that we've created, that proven process, automates this process, ensuring you deliver the right message at the right time. Here's what we're trying to do. Here's what we're trying to say. If you're creating content that doesn't resonate with the audience because you don't know who they are, I just create products for women. Well, if they're in a hair salon, they're like, nah, I'm not really interested because I get plenty of products already. But if you tell them, you say, look, most women who are in their 50s, between 45 and 50, have graying starting to occur in their hair. And we've created for brunettes and dark brown haired women a product with 10 different shades of dark brown or brunette. They say, well, that's exactly what I need. Having the ability to create a very targeted product or service that delivers exactly what your ideal customer wants, it's gold. They start to step forward and they ask you if they can be sold as opposed to you having to sell them. So targeted content drives conversions. Market research. This is the last and final piece here. Constant market research keeps you ahead of the competition. It helps you adjust your strategies based on real time data, things that are recently occurring. And by real time, it can be in the last month, 2 months, year, right? But it's something that's still relevant to them. There's actually tools that we can provide you that'll actually give you real time data that will actually help you see what happened within the last hour. Our content flywheel, this process that we have, provides built in market research that research and tools that help streamline that whole process of creating market research. If you understand them, just like I gave you some quotes a little later about 33%, 40%, and 20%, if you understand more deeply what the space is and how many of those women between 45 and 55 are getting graying hair, if 78% of them have had their first evidence of gray hair, well, you know how big the market is, how many of them appeals to, how strongly you can lean it. If it's 10 of them, 10% of them out of all those women, it might be a slightly different pitch. If you could say you want to remain young, but if it's 78, so many of us are starting to have graying in our hair. Would you like to still keep that youthful vigor? Here's the hair color that'll do it. Think about if you could apply this to leadership or business coaching, understanding even the simple analogy here of hair care and hair color dyes, how that translates over here by making a very, very targeted message to your target or your ideal customer profile. And what empowers that? Market research. Now, all this takes time. It takes a tremendous amount of time, in my experience. So we created a tool that will do it for you. It takes you about 10 minutes. It'll do the market research for you. It'll tell you what content is going to resonate, what emotions they might have, what is the emotional process and buying process that they go through, and how those emotions develop and interconnect with each other, how it relates to your product, your expertise, what your service is. So if you're a business coach or a consultant, we have the way for you to create this in just a few minutes. We call it the unique voice report. This unique voice report will do that market research for you, help you get a very targeted and unique message for your clients so that you know how they'll respond, while they respond, how they hear you, and how you present to them, and what makes them buy from you. That whole process takes about 10 minutes. I'd love to hear in the comments while I'm putting an offer up on screen. Love to hear what has resonated with you most so far. All right. Here's what I got on screen for you. So we've got this limited offer. It's about a 23-page report. We call it the Unique Voice Report, the UVR. And if this is the first step in you starting to create this automated content flywheel for yourself that'll allow you to achieve a 50% or higher conversion rate. If you follow all these steps exactly the way we've done it, you can make it your way as well. But we give you all those steps throughout the course of this episode that you've been hearing. But this will get you in that first direction where it'll tell you how to create that market differentiation for yourself, that unique voice, how to create consistent lead generation for yourself, and what is it that you're saying to do that. And then it'll streamline and automate your client acquisition and what messages and what processes, procedures you'll need based on your unique expertise as a business coach or a business consultant. So you can scan that QR code now. It'll take you directly there. It is a free report. There is no cost to this. It is something that will turn around to you within just a little over 24 hours. You'll have that report and you can go off on your merry way. We do automate that process if you're interested beyond that, but we'll send you the report free. There's no obligation beyond that. So go to www.carmo.net/autopilot or scan that QR code and you can get the link to that report. Fill out that diagnostic. 7 to 10 minutes later, you will have a report headed in your direction. All right. So let's kind of wrap some of this up, right? What have we talked about? We've covered some key strategies for mastering prospecting that leads to 50% higher conversion rates if you follow all the specific examples in your context and your business is exactly the same as ours. But you will get some significant increase in your performance. We've talked about mastering prospecting. We've talked about market saturation and how you can differentiate yourself from the crowd, and then automating client acquisition. Excuse me. The content flywheel that we've created and that process is the comprehensive solution to achieving that 50% conversion rate. All right, I'm going to take this off screen. I'd like to go back to the comments. I'd love to hear from you. What are the things that have resonated most with you? If there are any pieces or nuggets or statistics that have resonated with you, please type them into the comments. I would love to hear and share with me some of the learnings that you've gotten throughout the course of this episode. Now, I'm going to give you these tools, this tool, the unique voice report. I'll type it into the comments after our episode. I'll also put it into our newsletter. So you can also subscribe to that newsletter to get the updates of all of these episodes and what they're telling you. Okay. But I want to thank everyone for joining us today. This was hopefully a very simple snapshot into how you can get started in creating your own content flywheel. Our next episode is October 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in that episode, we're going to discuss how to increase your competitive advantage by 40%. What are you going to do? What are the steps that you're going to take that'll make you separate from the competition so they can't even keep up with you? Make sure you follow our page, follow me, or subscribe to our newsletter, which you'll see later as well, so that you'll get updated and you'll be aware of all shows that are up and coming. Remember, as a company, as an individual, my success is predicated on your success. The more people that I help, the more not only do I feel empowered, but the more value that I create and have created value for my own company. We're here to help you articulate and deliver your expertise. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat in the comments. I'll leave the offer up on screen so you can see what that is. You can join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern District time. If you have any questions, but here's the offer if you'd like to get your own unique voice analysis. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed and would love to see your comments.